Hey guys, I'm back. I'm so sorry. It's been so long. The whole thing is I got an issue with my microphone. I don't know what's going on with my laptop exactly. Some weird microphone stuff is happening. And I've been informed of that already. Hopefully it doesn't blow your ears out. I'm just hoping for that so much. Today we're going to be doing an avant-garde makeup tutorial. This is actually one that I've never done before, but I created this just like 5 minutes ago and I was like, oh my god, I got to try this out. I'm actually going to be doing this in the fashion show that we're having in Toronto. It's for the UFT fashion show for Color Burst. I think it's called Color Burst. Color Lux, I think. And what's going to be happening is I'll be doing a bunch of like colorful avant-garde looks, and hopefully maybe I'll get noticed. I don't know. Just recently actually did the same one at the same fashion show, I guess stadium, place, whatever. I actually had done another one. All that's been cleared up, whatever. Let's start with the tutorial. So I've actually already done my face. I've actually prepped it, I've primed it, I actually put some highlighter on. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is just throwing on some foundation. Another thing is I've also been very busy lately. I actually just am finishing my makeup class. So I'll be graduating very soon. I'm so excited, but it's been really hard to find a job lately in makeup. And I think, it's because of competition and things like that. But my God, I've never thought it was gonna be that hard. But you know what? Gotta stay positive about it and, do it your best, right? It's all about experiences and it's all about who you know. So you should always be patient with that. Also, if you notice on your screen, it looks like I do indeed have a burn. It is not a burn, I can assure you. It's just makeup. I've actually had this on for about 3 days straight. It's because it's alcohol based, it's kind of hard to come off, and I don't want to be killing my skin from the alcohol that I have to take it off with. So I've just kind of left it there. It's kind of part of my skin until it comes off. I do that a lot with my makeup. Well, in terms of like special effects on the body, I will, or in-kit effects. Anyways, I'm finishing up my courses very soon. I finish on the 20th with my makeup course, which is so exciting. But the one thing that I'm doing now is I'm actually doing prosthetics in my last class, special effects prosthetics. Now, as much as I absolutely love the idea of it, and I am absolutely in love with the course, it's been very hard because math is also involved in prosthetics sometimes. And due to that, my worst suit ever is in math. I'm not very good at math. I've never been good at math. When people say, well, just use a calculator, it's not just that. I can't really make sense of the numbers. And I've actually been diagnosed with a math disability called dyscalculia. And, when people always say, well, I'm really bad at math, it's like, no. Like, math is literally like another language to me, and I don't get it. So that's fantastic. So now that we've gotten the foundation all the way in there, she's seeping through, it's great. I'm actually just gonna pick up my charger and charge my damn laptop. Perfect. Anyways, now that we finished the foundation part, we're actually gonna go back again with our Fix Plus. Just lightly missed the face. Unfortunately, I've put a lot of glitter besides the one that's actually been in this. I put a lot more in here just to give like a disgustingly crazy gold tinge to my face when I put it on, which is good and bad. But you know what? We're gonna let her stay, and whatever happens, happens. So now that we've gotten this part done, we're going to go in with our concealer just to make this real kind of basic at the beginning. I'm gonna go in with the concealer and just kind of conceal those things. You don't need a lot just because of the thing that we're doing. We won't actually need a lot. So let's just blend a little bit of this in and a little bit of this. But anyways, yeah, so prosthetics has been great. It's very unfortunate that I have a hard time with it. And my teacher has been fantastic as well. I actually really like my teacher. He's been quite helpful. We did get off on the wrong foot the first few weeks, just because of the course that I'm taking, and I should already I should have been prepared anyways for this, but of course, you know, if you're going into a makeup kind of environment, something to do with the arts, you know, I feel like people that are artists, things like that, they're kind of like a different type of human. Do you know what I mean? They're a different breed of human. So, you know, they're kind of in their own world a lot of times, things like that. And, you know, it's rather you like them or you hate them, right? And it's really hard because other what do you call it? Other artists are the same way. So, you know what I mean? So it's like you do it my way or you don't do it at all. And of course, that's not at all what he did. But we did get off on the wrong foot just because at the point, the thing that I was asking for, he wasn't really giving me a real black and white answer. He just said kind of, oh, do what you want, figure it out yourself, things like that. And obviously that comes with like teaching and things like that, of course. But you know what? I kind of wanted a black or white answer. And you know what? It's understandable. Some teachers just don't teach like that. And I get that. So it's fine. It's all good now. I'm fine. It's not like it's the end of the world, anything like that. Apparently he does that with all the students. So you know what? It's not like it's a personal thing. It's not like that's his problem. It's just the way that he teaches, which is totally fine. Anyways, now that we've gotten our foundation, our full base on, we're going to start with the color. We're actually only doing 2 colors today, and they're going to be kind of weird in its way, but I'm so excited. So we're going to be using my MAC palette. This is my MAC Red palette. We're going to be using Lady Dancer and MAC Red. And where is my little scraper? Where is she? Well, I guess we're not using one. That's great. That's fine. So we're just going to dip into this and just kind of I'm gonna scrape it out. I'm trying to scrape it out. It's working. So, anyways, so that's how that's going. I also just finished a business course. And I actually had quite a bad experience just with the teacher. Not to ever shit talk teachers, because I do respect her very much so. I really do. Because of the way that she teaches and all the things she's accomplished, I do indeed respect her very much. But I think some things need to be worked on in terms of professionalism. Which is very unfortunate because I really liked this teacher and I really wanted to have a good bond with her. But so the first time that it actually happened, she's been my teacher before, and well, she didn't really understand my needs in terms of like my special needs. And things just kind of broke out. There was a few misunderstandings, things like that, and that happens. Anyways, so now that we've finished with kind of mixing these 2 colors together, I'm actually going to go right in, kind of make a circle around my face, almost kind of geisha style. So anyways, so the thing is with her is I respect her so much. I think she's an incredible teacher, and I think that honestly, she will go places in the world. Even though she's already gone places, she'll go even further just because of who she is. But we had some misunderstandings about my IEP. A few weeks before having her no, it was a day before my exam. I had actually approached her and asked her about my needs in terms of my exam, because some teachers, they don't really understand my needs, which is okay. Then I explain them. But she straight up told me, she said, well, um, I haven't even looked. I said, well, did you receive my IEP? Because I would like to know what I will be able to get during my exam. And she said, well, I didn't check my email yet because I just don't check it. And, I'm a really understanding person. She could have had a lot more things going on. That's not her problem. That things happen. So I just said to her, okay, well, I usually get this and this. And she kind of looked at me funny and said, well, first of all, I get extra time on my exams. And she kind of looked at me funny as I was explaining it to her. And she said, well, it's not my problem in terms of my IEP and things like that. That's not my problem. And you should go to the student, there's a student resource center in my campus. And I had already gone there for my IEP to be kind of updated and things like that. And that's all I needed. And the head of the department, would be sending my IEP to each teacher that I would have. So I was expecting her to read it, right? But things happen, and I was okay with that. And I explained to her, and then she just said that wasn't her problem. And I was kind of surprised because it took me a while to kind of build up balls in terms of like understanding, trying to get help from teachers, because I'm not a very vocal person in terms of that. I feel like I'm annoying them. And I built up balls to be able to do things like that. And then she just told me, well, it's not my problem, and to go there. And I was really surprised, and I just kind of looked at her, and I was, shocked. And she looked at me and she said, well, she looked at me, and then she said it slower, like I was an idiot. And I kind of felt a little bit hurt and kind of like an idiot because of the way that she was speaking to me. She said, well, you need to go to the student service accessibility place. And I didn't know what to say. I was like a loss of words. I'd never been kind of so, what's the word? I've never felt so kind of like an idiot. I've never felt so dumb in my life and kind of like hurt. And of course, this could just be her way of teaching, and I understood that. But I thought, because of what she did, I should probably bring it up just in case. Because, although she could have had things going on, it is her responsibility to be looking at students that have, special needs in terms of exams. So I just brought it up with like the head council department thing, and she apologized and said, I'm sorry you had to go through that, things like that, and that's okay. I'm a very forgiving person in terms of that. I was fine with it. Things happen. Sometimes I can be like overly okay with things. Do you know what I mean? Like I might not freak out over some things. So, in a way, it was kind of like, she's human. Things happen. She's a human being, and, people have bad days, and although it's not good to take it out on others and things like that, I don't know what's going on in her life. So I just kind of let it go, and that was all from that. But then I had her again for business, and as much as of course, I don't like to hold grudges. I never like to hold grudges, ever. And because of what happened beforehand, I was like, you know what? It's good to just let it go, right? It's good to let it go. Things happen, maybe she was talked to about it, and it's okay. I'm fine. And so I was like, well, that's all right. Like, no worries. she didn't say anything to me, but I wanted to act like nothing happened, right? Because, So I went in there, it was fine, and by the end of it all, I thought, well, I mean, she's acting quite fine. She's not acting like she has any hatred towards me and things like that. So I thought, okay, maybe she's moved on. She probably feels bad for snapping, things like that. But you know what? That's on my part too, because maybe I didn't voice what happened well either, and which is okay. But, and so, during our final part of the exam, I was asked if I wanted to see like what my mark was, and I was like, yes, of course I want to see my mark. Like I really want to see that, of course. So she gave it to me and she said, I think that you're gonna go places, but I think the one thing that you had an issue with was you didn't smile during the exam. During the exam because it was like a interview. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Things happen, and that's okay. Uh, so I thought, okay, so we're probably on a good page now. And so I contacted her a few days after we finished, just to, because I was applying to jobs. And I contacted her about being a reference. And I said, hey, like, just wondering if you would like to be my reference. I'm actually applying to a few jobs, yada, yada, yada. And, well, I don't want to read the entire thing because you know what? I'm not trying to throw any shade at her at all. But she kind of refused because of the way that I acted towards her, which, I think maybe I did hold a little bit of resentment, but the only reason that I ever did was because when somebody snaps at me, then sometimes I can snap back. And of course, that's really unprofessional and it's very rude and disrespectful. But I had only done it out of kind of a way that I thought, in my mind, it was the teacher's overreaction, which is okay. But I was kind of angry at that. But I think that was the only time that we really ran into an issue. And I think that in a sense it was kind of unprofessional to tell somebody that you're not going to be their reference just because of A and B. I think that the best thing that she could have done was to just straight up say, I'm sorry, I don't give references. Or something like that. Although she had congratulated me and said that she thinks that I'll do well, I think that it's also just a personality clash. And things, like I said, things happen. But I think that it was just kind of something I kind of wanted to bring up just because although sometimes I can be read wrong, I think that, of course, in each of our minds, it was each other's fault. And that's okay. But also, I think that on my side, I think that it was kind of just an unprofessional way to snap or to say something like that. Although I do take criticism quite well. I really do. But I think that was more than criticism. So I was a little bit angry over that. But yeah, so that happened. Of course, not everybody can get along, although I try my very best to get along with each teacher. It never happens. There are people that you just can't get along with. It's a personality clash, it's something you don't believe in, things like that. And that's okay. Because you know what? You learn from your mistakes, you learn, you grow, and you do better next time. Or figure out a way to avoid the situation completely, right? It's a great thing. It's a great thing to learn, and it's a good learning curve because, artists can be really hard to deal with sometimes, just depending on who you are. But because we're kind of in our own world a lot of times, I think it's hard to get along with each other a lot of times as well. So now that I'm like just finishing off painting my face, I'm just going to check my edges just to be sure that they're quite strong and not all over the place. Very nice. I think I've done quite a good job at checking my edges. Just going to go up here. Wonderful edge. Wonderful. And this edge. That's great. Really good. And just kind of touch up here, make it a little bit more red. Yes. And get in there. All right. So I think that we've gotten this part really well done, actually. Oh, shit. Oh my gosh. Let's just fix this part. So now that we've gotten most of this done, luckily this is actually a very easy tutorial and very, just really straightforward, super easy, things like that. Very nice. I really love that it kind of pops out my eyes just because my eyes are blue. Reds and oranges just look fantastic. So this is actually really great. I really like this. Now, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking white to our eyes. So what we're going to be doing is the first thing that we're going to do, and this is going to suck. I'm going to curl my lashes. So we're going to curl them and make them real nice. I'm probably going to have to touch up my eye after this, but you know what? No worries. I'm going to touch up. Make sure it looks great and curly. So they're very distinguishable. All right, good, good. But yeah. So I think that it's both a learning curve for us both. And I think that things happen and people shouldn't, is it red here? Nope. And, I think that lots of things shouldn't be, oh, it's this person's fault or it's this person's fault. Not to put the blame on anybody because things do happen. And as much as you would like to put the blame on other people, sometimes it's not the best move. I think sometimes I get a big issue with that, and I think that's a really big problem with who I am because I can be a very caring person and very open to apology, open to criticism, things like that, and it can be taken too far, and I can be taken advantage of because of it. But other than that, I think that it's best to just kind of see the other side of the story. If it's not like if it's not a definite, oh, it's honestly this person's fault kind of thing. So I've actually dipped into my Kat Von D whiteout brow color, and I'm actually going to be using this as a mascara. So we're just going to swipe this white on. Oh my god, it's exactly what I thought it was going to look like. It's so wonderful. So make sure that you're not going to get any of that onto your lid. If you do, luckily you are using cream, so it's not going to, be ruined in any way. You'll just be able to wipe it off. So I'm really loving this look right now. I think that this is probably one of the coolest looks I have ever created. So minimalistic, but absolutely stunning. And the contrast is unbelievable. So, just gonna make sure to get all that color in there. Make sure it's very distinguishable in color. Very distinguishable. Very, very, very white. And if anything, you could clump a little bit. Clump them up, make them a little thicker than usual. Just because this product in itself is very hard when it solidifies. So if anything, it'll just make it look better. It'll make it more bold, things like that. So this is actually great. So now that I've gotten kind of the top down, we're just gonna go ahead and start with the bottom. Here we go. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful color. So great. I absolutely love this. Oh my gosh, yes. Wonderful. So wonderful. So, as you see, I did kind of ruin a little bit. So we're just gonna go back with our normal red brush that we've used, just to kind of hide that little oopsie. Because luckily, it's very easy to fix this. Just because of the products that we're using. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So there you have it. This is actually the full tutorial. Another thing that I could have done is actually done my eyebrows, but I think at the moment this is a very good look. It's very plain, it's very sheer, it's very, very, shiny. It's got that color. It's got just those two types of colors, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a really plain, minimalistic, but very, very bold. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys really like this tutorial. This is the look that I created. I think it's so amazing. I think that I'm gonna definitely do this in the fashion show. And yeah, and I hope that you guys probably enjoy this look too, and maybe you'll use it for whatever. So anyways, thank you so much. I hope that you really like this. Sorry I haven't been on for a while, but I'll get back on that whenever I can. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff, all the good stuff, and have a nice day.